After converting the existing report or the data into unnormalized form, the first step is to convert this unnormalized form into first normal form. So, in first normal form, the main point is to eliminate the repeating data. A relation is said to be in first normal form when it contains no multi-valued attributes. Remember the multi-valued attributes? We mean this red part in this table. So if one cell has more than one value, we call it multi-value. So we have some steps for it. First, we create a relation with a meaningful name. I suggest you to give the name at the end of the process. You may not give the name at the very beginning, but know that there must be a meaningful name. Often it makes sense to include all or parts of the original relation's name in the new relation's name. To copy the primary key from the original relation to the new one. This copied primary key now becomes a foreign key for the original relation. Move the repeating group or multi-valued attribute to the new relation. 4. Make the primary key unique by adding attributes from repeating group. 5. Optional, you can choose to replace the primary key with a single surrogate key. So when we read them like this, it may not be so meaningful. So let's apply it. Remember our relation was like the one you see here, and the multi-valued cells was, let's show it, not the order date, or product number, product description, quantity, unit price, extended amount, total order quantity, and total amount, order amount were the repeating or multi-valued cells. So what we do is we create a new, first step, we create a new relation here, and here the name is also given like invoice line item. And the repeating parts are transferred into this new entity. So we have the product number here, product description, quantity, unit price, and extended amount here. Okay, first these parts are brought here, and then we must, you know that we are splitting the tables, but we must have a column for joining them. So we get the primary key of the first table, which is unique invoice number over here, and put it into this new one. Invoice number is, and now this time it will be a foreign key, because using this invoice number we can reach to this invoice. So it will be the column that binds two tables. And the final step is to create a primary key. You can create a primary key by adding some columns from the repeating part, which is product number, product description, quantity, unit price, and extended amount, to the primary key of the original table, which is invoice number, so that you can have two columns together as a primary key. This is one way of doing things. Sometimes you may not have a column like product number, so it won't be possible to apply this two column approach. It depends on the the definition of the data. But here, one way of doing this application is to bind invoice number and product number together to bring a primary key, to create a primary key. Another way is to create a surrogate key, which means indeed the invoice line item ID does not exist in our original table, but we want to create such a column just to make a primary key. The only reason is to create a primary key for our new table. We can use this approach. Indeed, we can easily use this surrogate approach because the computers have lots of hard disk and RAM capabilities. In the times of 1970, these were very limited, so it will be very problematic to use an unused column like this. But today we can easily use this surrogate key approach. So when you do this, when you finish this part, your relation is in first normal form. So let me repeat. We look at the input, our invoice, then we convert it into a table, then we convert into a relation which we wrote down the column names by separating the columns with comma. And when we create a primary key, it became unnormalized form. Then we applied these steps, and at the end we have two options. Let me make it clear. There are two options. First one is to use this one and this one, or again this relation with this one. So on your screen there are two optional ways. You can choose any of them. Sometimes it won't be easy to use this approach because your data may not be suitable for that. Then you will not have two options, but you will have only one option. When you finalize this and show it in your screen like this, this is called first normal form.